Hi, my name is Audrey John. So I'm going to present this article with title Shopee and Viral Marketing, the utilizations of steps. Okay, and as an introduction, looking at the business history, it is safe to say that they have used marketing to gain a larger market share in way or another. And traditionally, the main methods range from word of mouth marketing as well as the usage of print media such as a brochure, and even they have a spread in the newspaper. However, with the incorporations of technology into the business marketing, the landscape has been changed since then, particularly involving how to reach the correct sets of audience rather than targeting on the mass audience. Ever since the technology has been developed over the past country, some other forms of marketing have also taken over. Okay, and at current there's a new generations of marketing methods, and that has been taken over as well. People have been communicating with each other through peer-to-peer mediums such as email, direct message, forums, blogs, as well as a social media website. And the internet made communications much more easier, requiring a less effort to get a message to friends as well as to co-workers. And then when people find something they find intrigue and humorous, interesting, or shocking, they are inclined to share this with people from the social networks. And the difference now is that they are most often not requested to share, but do so anyway because they believe the peers may also have an interest to see that particular content. And this is often referred to as electronic word of mouth. And what happens is that if enough people share the content in question, it's actually spread increase, and then this will actually result in what people refer to as going viral. Okay, and viral content can reach millions of people in a matter of days, and it is pretty obvious that this can become a very powerful tool for a company that uses it correctly. And brand, for example, like Shopee, has been seen as employing this element, especially in the social media posting. But the question is, people actually seen this Shopee to actually employ this viral marketing technique. But do they really use this viral marketing technique? So these are the things that we are going to look into through this article. And apart from that, we will look into what is it mean by this viral marketing first, and then what are the variants of the viral marketing that could be employed by this particular company, and to what extent are these six steps principles are actually present in the Shopee festive posting. Alright, so we are going to look at what is meant by Shopee, as well as what are the principles they outline the viral marketing itself. Okay, so I think most of us know what is it mean by Shopee, and I think most of us also have an experience using this particular platform. Okay, so Shopee is actually a Singaporean electronic commerce or e-commerce platform which actually founded in 2015, and currently is actually stations under C Group and has been expanded to Malaysia, Thailand, Indonesia, Vietnam, Philippines, as well as Brazil since its inception since 2015. And this e-commerce platform has been served users to buy sales product via online. Okay, and then move to the viral marketing. Okay, so viral marketing is actually a well-known fact that website as an effective ways of using, okay, to promoting the products as well as services, and thankful to its very interactive nature, attractive global reach, and the frequently updated and current informations, and various forms of electronic medium of communications present today, including electronic mail, graphic phones, as well as YouTube, are able to projecting the feelings of the users who happen to be consumers, and then communicate with the rest of the others and to advertise various content consists of the business message. Okay, and online shopping, for example, like Shopee, okay, is a commercial transaction connected to the internet and a process where the consumers can directly place their orders and purchase their goods as well as services from the sellers. And in addition to that, this also explains that viral marketing is one of the internet versions of the word of mouth marketing that's involved the creations of a message in the form of email or other marketing agenda with an aim to motivate the customers to share and pass it down to their network, and could comprise of their clicks. And viral marketing is also a process. It's also a process created by the companies themselves in order to help them to promote their products in the hope that those who saw it will be in awe, okay, and willing to share it with their network, such as their colleagues as well as their family. And viral marketing is also an initiative out of consumers' activity as a mini agent to the marketing in spreading to the message, spreading the message to the network in just like a virus or epidemics. Okay, in order to make a message viral, the marketing message must reach their targeted customers and make it as an active ambassadors to invite others from their own network circle to with a purpose to share the message. And viral marketing depends so much on networks as well as active social interactions that exist between the company as well as their potential customers. All right, we are looking at the step principles. Okay, the first one is actually step principles. Is actually the first one. S stand for social currency, T stand for triggers, E stand for emotion, P stand for public. The other P stand for the practical value, and S is actually stand for stories. Okay, now we are look at into these principles one by one. Okay, social currency is actually the idea that people strive to look good, smart, or knowledgeable in front of the others, and this is because they want to get noticed with remarkability as its key aspects. And marketers, for example, have advanced that word of mouth is stimulated when a product is interesting, novel, or surprising, with lots of interesting content to be shared are more likely to be happen. And in addition to that, content that contains information that is unusual, extraordinary, or violates our expectations is more likely to be shared and talked about. And exaggerations is the first varieties of aspects that may help a message appear more remarkable or to have a social currency. And this is due to people feel the need to entertain, hence they just adjust their narrative to make it more unusual or extraordinary. Okay, and research also reveals that individuals are also more likely to exaggerate a story if talking to a peers, and message may be considered remarkable if it's break a pattern such as being unexpected, mysterious, or controversial. And this type of content is more likely to stand out from message about a similar product or topic. Okay, the second one is actually triggers. Trigger or triggering event is an activity that motivates an individual to act on latent readiness. Okay, and triggers are actually everyday reminders in the environment that the user sees, reads, or even hears. Exposure to these conceptually related cues creating a priming effect that make the message, product, or idea more accessible in our own memory. In the case of product recall and purchase decision, for instance, okay, and individual motivations to act has been shown to be triggered by previous exposure to an act or message. And research has also shown that exposure to an environmental cue can affect attitudes not only toward the exposed object, but also toward any object that share a conceptual relationships. Okay, and then we also have emotions. Okay, when was the last time you shared a video with your friends, and what triggered you to share it? Did you feel emotionally connected with the message? Okay, quite possibly the answer could be yes. And that is what we call as the power of emotions. Make you feel connected and triggers you to share the message. Okay. Another reason the message is shared is related to emotion, as it was a key predictor in why content was shared. And individuals are more drive to share message that in their own opinion considered as message with an appeal to high arousal emotions. High arousal emotions are characterized as an excitatory state of increased activity, and emotions such as admirations or aspirations, excitement, humor, anger, or anxiety have shown to produce high arousals emotions. Okay, and people will be more likely to share an advertisements when it garner more amusements, and customer service experience when it evoke more anger, and that pleasant emotional appeals are more likely to influence attitude, intentions, as well as forwarding. On the other hand, low arousal emotions that consist of sadness is led to decrease in arousals and in return decrease in transmissions. Okay, and then public. Okay, often people follow the herd mentality, and there are some trends which just pick up because everyone talk about it. It is not surprising that people tend to buy or even talk about things which they see the most, and hence it's important to be noticed. And according to these 4 characteristics of viral content, okay, public posits the visibility. Okay, public visibility could help in encourage the imitations and a herd mentality, and in return highly visible product advertise themselves. And most of the time when people are unsure of what to do, they just need to look to others for social cues, and this is based on the principles of observational learning as an approach to understanding behavior that is based on the learning by observing others. Okay, this is by Bandura. And individuals tend to ignore their own private signals and imitate established patterns or the observable behaviors of others, as well as decision making through social influence. Okay, and then the 5th characteristics is actually practical value. Okay, content without useful knowledge doesn't work well, and successful marketing communication should include a useful message for the consumers. And another message factor that leads to viral content is practical value. And research finding has suggested that people like to pass along practical or useful information out of desire to help others by providing tips as well as advice. Okay, and there is also suggestions that decision making is not always rational, but instead heuristics, and at the same time can be useful to guide the decisions maker. And the last principle is actually the stories. Okay, all marketers they tell stories, and marketing is all about storytelling, and nothing clicks better than a compelling story, and subtly delivering your brand message in a concise way. And these final characteristics in the steps model, okay, can actually act as both lessons and entertainment, and as channel for people to talk about things that matters to them. And in fact, narrative has been said to help bind together what we experience and how we organize our existence, while at the same time establish a relationship over time. And there's an assertion that stories are much more likely to be shared than advertisements, because personal stories are perceived as more trustworthy and seen as much more relatable. And Budget 2013, for example, he actually discussed stories as carrier for informations, and according to his research, information travels best when attached to a simple yet poignant story. Okay, so based upon a review of the elements that comprise these 6 steps, okay, and interest in understandings of the relationship between these 6 principles, okay, which will actually relate to the questions, okay, the research questions for this particular article, on the to what extent the 6 steps principles, okay, is actually presented in this Shopee Facebook posting. 431 posting from the Shopee Facebook account from the 1st July of 2020 until 16 September 2020 have been analyzed, and this Facebook account has been posting between 30 to 35 posting on weekly basis and roughly about 3 to 5 posting daily. And it is understood that during the period of promotions or campaign, for example, like 8 August or 9 September, for example, the posting trend will tend to be much more higher and could reach up to 10 to 14 posting daily. And prior to the promotion period, 1 or days prior, okay, there seems to be a spike involving the number of posting made from this account with 6 to 8 posting daily. All right, so what are the findings? So this study found that social currencies, emotions, and stories are the most frequently presented principles in the Shopee Facebook posting in the month of July, August, and September. So it is not surprising that stories and emotion principles recorded as the highest score, as people love to engage with content that are able to evoking the emotions. Okay. Uh, Analysis on the Facebook posting shows that when the content is emotionally related with the Facebook user, for example, like the posting on the Selangor water issue, okay, the engagements with the content in the form of like, share, as well as comment sections tend to be much more higher compared to the posting that include promotions of the product or services. And in addition to that, one possible explanation why emotionally related content able to engage more reaction from Facebook user is not only because it is related to them directly or indirectly, but because the popularity of the issue itself that drive more and wider discussions about the same posting. And this could be seen clearly in their cable as well as vacuum posting. This finding is also in line with Berger and Mittman 2012 findings that content evoking positive emotions are more viral than content evoking negative emotions, and people tend to share positive or negative content, while common wisdom suggests that people tend to pass along negative news more than positive news. Okay, results indicate that positive content is actually more viral, and it can be said that even though the original content or topic tend to be negative, okay, but when Shopee uses the same thing and apply it in the posting, it does generate high engagements, and some find it hilarious. So the netizens, okay, they no longer see the initial content as negative, but on the other side of the pond. And this is actually a good sign if this brand objective is stay in touch with the followers, while at the same time increase the followers number as well as generate engagements for each of the posting. Uh, as conclusions, okay, social transmission is about more than just very exchange of self-presentations, consistent with the notions that people share to entertain others. Surprising and interesting content is highly viral, and similarly consistent with notions that people share to inform others or boost their moods. Practically useful and positive content is much more viral, and rather than targeting the special people, the current research suggests that it may be more beneficial to focus on crafting contagious content. By considering how psychological process shape the social transmissions, it is possible to gain deeper insight into collective account, such as what will contribute to the content and how are we going to make it become much more viral so that we can generate more engagements at the end of the day. With that, thank you very much.